What is up, everybody? Thursday night. You know what that means. We're in the pit with Josh the Mosh. Not in the really in the mood for wasting much time, so let's just get the party started. Bring in numero dos. What is up, my brother?
Man, another crazy week in the world of the world in general, not just the world of wrestling, but the world. It's crazy out there. Everybody's getting ill, and not in a good way.
No, not in a good way. And
No
getting
one,
cold too.
man,
Cold and ill. Like it's crazy this weather.
it blew in last night. Ash and I went outside for just a walk, and that wind, I was like, oh, yep, it's coming, it's coming.
It's just crazy. Yesterday was 80.
Yeah, that's weather.
And then it didn't even get to like 45 today, I think. So it's just Texas. It's crazy.
Not
So what's
only,
going on, man?
man, tons of killer stuff. We got a lot to talk about in general. Like we can dip into a lot of different topics. There's stuff coming up big. We can talk local wrestling. We can talk indie wrestling. We can talk AEW. Big news AEW last night. Our boy Mox was back, which everybody in the world except the one guy in the arena was super excited to see.
I know. I love that. Shut the fuck up. Get that fuck out of here.
I thought it was great. I'm excited to
What
talk.
a great promo. What a great promo that was.
I'm excited to talk about for a split second. I know Melanie's not going to be with us this episode, but I'm excited to talk about like everything that went on in that with that experience. Yep, fuck that one guy. 100%.
Fuck that one. Fucking Texas. Fucking Texas. Oh, the weather. I'm sure. I was like,
man,
AEW wasn't in Texas last night.
It's out there. We just had wrestling at the mall this last weekend. A good
Mall
show.
Madness or something.
Mall
What do they
Madness.
call it?
It's been crazy.
A free show.
It was a free show. It was a free show. If you did not get to the mall and you could to check out that show, you missed it. Everybody always complains. Free wrestling is the best wrestling, I say. Melanie said to tell you guys that she quits the show because she's too farty. Oh. Nah. Sorry, guys. My bad. I misread that. My bad, Mel.
Reading is fundamental.
Hard.
Yep. That's why I just talk.
Puro Bro's supposed to be joining us soon. He's stuck in traffic. You know, he basically gets a limousine everywhere.
Yeah, I think his driver was running late or something, so he's probably fired. He's probably fired as soon as he drops him off. So anybody looking for a gig, hit him up. He's probably gonna need a new driver.
Yeah, if you want to drive Angel around, keep in mind too before you turn that offer down. Keep in mind all the bougie places Angel goes to. You know, he's the top level baracho, man. Like he gets into places none of us can get into.
Oh no. I don't even like. We can't even like drive by. Like no eye contact kind of place. Like nope, don't even.
Right.
Can we talk about PPW?
Can we talk about PPW? That's a great question. What do you want to talk about PPW, JoJo? Ask us what you want to know about PPW, and my boy Josh will tell you. But that's a good question. Do you have anything new for PPW? I know you're still sitting on your first comeback show. We've got a date so far.
April 23rd.
April 23rd. We also know that by this time we have our first PPW show. My boy Josh will be hitched. He'll be ball and chained. He'll be locked down by that point.
Happily.
Josh getting married, y'all. If y'all haven't been following his own life and listen to us talk, Josh getting married. But after that, we'll have PPW. We don't have any matches yet announced, but we do know that there's.
Yeah, we haven't announced any. That's right.
I was gonna say. I know we've talked. I know
we've dropped some names. We've dropped
names. Like we do know it. We do know we're gonna see Royal Taxation. We're pretty sure that we're gonna see Maddie Rankowski. You know, like
Chandler Hopkins.
We're getting Chandler Hopkins this time.
Bryson Scott.
Man,
the champs are in the building. You know what I mean? The champs are in the building.
I have a question for you.
And did y'all just see the champ on NWA? I'm just saying.
Yeah. Maddie was on NWA. I got a question for you about Bryson Scott.
The Lost Cause. What's up?
The Lost Cause. How do you feel booking someone on your show that is not only a promoter? I mean, I guess a promoter, but it's an active talent promoter. Like, do you have this fear ever that the Lost Cause is going to do his thing and like take PPW over? Or?
Well, I mean, and that's kind of the funny thing too about the title he holds too, because he has the power to basically make his own match. I mean, he doesn't get to book his opponent, but he gets to make. I mean, he books his own match. I mean,
Right.
I don't even know what the match. Like he tells me what the match is going to be, or he even waits until the match to tell whoever's coming out what the match is going to be. It's happened both ways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we're keeping this on the PPW level and not personal level, yeah, I mean, you just never know what's going to happen. I mean, he might try to take over, but then I might have to just make a trip to San Antonio. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I don't
It's like, you know what I'm saying?
takeover. That's just not the way that Lost Cause would interact with PPW. I don't think it would be a hostile takeover. But at some point, like, I mean,
we've bumped heads. If you remember how he won the title in the first place, I wasn't very happy about that. I
don't doubt that. But I also think at the same time, I think when I say Bryson Scott takeover, I think I really mean like Bryson's swinging a big stick in the locker room. He's one of the OG talents for PPW. Mosh champion. Yeah. He definitely he's got his own thing going on. Simply Lost has got a great promotion, great talent roster itself. Like Bryson's swinging a big stick. Like it's not going to be long before Bryson is knocking at the champ's door and wanting more than just the Mosh championship.
That should be the goal of everyone at PPW. If that isn't your goal, and you know when we get you on a show, if you're not trying to go for the cowboy, then I wouldn't have booked you in the first place. Like I'm booking people that are hungry, you know. And that's why. So everybody that's been on the card, all of them, like if they had a shot at Chandler or Maddie, you know, they would jump on it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
those are the kind of people we book at PPW. So I could see a promoter coming in and, you know, hey, you know, especially someone that's in the locker room with the rest of the talent trying to book their next show, you know, that's fine. That's fine with me. That's fine.
Yeah, I just see this as essentially the year of Bryson Scott. Like
I think so too.
He's got the world behind him. I mean, honestly, nothing. Yep. It's his game for the taking. There's a lot going on. Like we've talked several weeks about the chapter that's turned in Texas wrestling. Like we've seen a lot of people get signed to AEW. GCW is currently helping talent transition to, I mean, Ninja Mac to Noah. There's big shit going on. So there's a new breed in Texas wrestling right now. And honestly, when you talk about hungry, when we talk about competition, we talk about guys wanting to be the next big talked about thing on everyone's stage. You know, Bryson Scott's a name that's got to come out of your mouth.
I mean, he's been in 205 Live. I mean, he's had his WWE tryouts in the time. I mean, he's been on the fringe of huge contracts and stuff. So I mean, he's there. He's got the talent. He's got the talent and then some. Like it's not even
great mindset in the ring, great work, great storytelling. Works with a lot of different promotions. Like that's really promos. Like you have to be able to understand that Bryson Scott's that big. Like if he's not on your radar, you're nuts.
Uh-oh. What is this? What?
Can I yell send
to take on Mandy? She's a fighting champ, right?
Yeah.
Well, Mel, you've been to our shows. I mean, is she a fighting champ? She tried to run her own thing and pick her own people. She wasn't even. She picked on the last show. I mean, she challenged someone that had just qualified as the #1 contender and literally made them fight right then and there, right after they had a match.
She also challenged Chandler Hopkins, though.
And she did. Yep. That's it. So, I mean, she's a legit champ. You know, I wouldn't. I mean, but it's just.
Man, y'all about to get busted in the mouth. I have more personal experience what can happen when you down talk Maddie, and it's just not happening for me.
Well, I mean, she's always correcting me anytime I post anything about anything. So it's probably nothing to. If I don't say her name properly as the longest reigning, first ever. There's another one. What's another adjective she said I have to say?
You know who else does that?
I know.
Yeah, he's like, "Where's my intro? Say my shit? All of it, all of it."
I can see Maddie doing that because anytime I post anything, I always forget something, and she's real quick to correct. Oh, it looks like Angel must have got his driver finally, so he's here.
Made it.
What's up, brother?
Thank the Lord.
Oh, he's muted. You muted.
This is the best.
What's happening?
There you go. What's happening, brother?
And $1.
Yeah, dollars. Yep. So Cardona versus Hopkins. So we can talk. That's later. So I mean, it's pretty safe to say, y'all want a match. It's looking like, I mean, I know Chandler's. That's the thing is, I got to get my fucking champs in line. You know what I mean? Like, I know they're the champs, so they want to try to run the shows. But I mean, I'm the fucking boss. You know what I mean? Like, that's the bottom line. Like,
You tell them.
I'm the fucking boss. So, because first she wanted to do what she wanted to do, and then Chandler's like, no, you got to do something else. And I was like, you know, and I met with Chandler. I saw him last week, or shit, it's been 2 weeks now. I needed a day off. It's been 2 weeks now. And I let him know he's going to be defending, or it's going to be champ versus champ, April 23rd. Chandler Hopkins versus Maddie. It's going to happen now. She doesn't need.
You just dropped that fire right here.
She didn't have to. I mean, she just wrestled Melina on NWA.
Oh wow, how'd that go?
He said that she had to prove herself. I think she's done that since he said that. So
yeah,
that's what's
NWA.
Happening. I don't even have a graphic yet made. That's how much this is being dropped. The posters ain't even made. We haven't even made a teaser, but if you heard it here, yeah, I'll give y'all that. Yep.
That's really intelligent too, because if you really think about it, if you look at the AEW experience, Chandler and Maddie have both been working at AEW. If you look at the Texas scene, Chandler and Maddie have both been on top of their games in their respective genders. And in intergender matches, they're both like, there's nobody right now doing more in wrestling than Chandler and Maddie. They're definitely top tier. Why not let them fight it out? I absolutely would.
Everybody's trying to run PPW, and they're like, well, I'm the real champ. Oh, I'm the real champ. Oh, I'm the champ. And then there's the Mosh going the champ. I don't give a fuck. You're going to do what I get to pick the matches anyway, you know?
Yeah.
It's just chaos, you know? So let's just let them fight. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Let them fight. You know, they both won it. They both won it. I mean, Maddie wants it. She wanted it from the beginning.
It's time to do it.
So yeah, so y'all heard it here first. April 23rd. Champ versus champ. And speaking of, I can drop something else too.
Oh, let's hear it.
I see our show something.
Oh. I hope it's another.
Since y'all are wanting to talk about PPW. So we're going to be crowning the first ever tag team. Oh, let me get it on the camera. Champs. There's a first look at the new tag team titles.
Man.
They're too big. They're too big to be on the screen.
Are both side plates Texas? What's the other side plate?
Same. Nice. Same as always. Same. Keeping it uniform. The same side plates as but also we have a little special thing on there. The boy ain't watching, but the sponsor for the belts, I put his initials in the fist.
Nice.
Ryan Romano, you're my man. R is going to be on these belts forever. Shout out to you, man.
Man, that's big.
Appreciate all your support and all that. So there you go.
Nastico, those are tag team championship titles. You would not know anything about those because no one would ever admit to being your friend or tagging with you. But your clients are always welcome to come down and compete. He
needs to find a tag team.
He can bring a tag team, but he'll never have a tag team partner. Like, no one's going to tag with Nastico. He'll turn on you. He'll take the spotlight. He's just, like, absolutely the most useless tag team partner. And
so you can he's just useless. We can take you used a lot of extra words there. He's just useless, period. We can just stop it right there. So, man, what's going on with you, Angel? We were in the middle of our conversation, so that's why we kind of ran over you. But how's it going, man?
No, it's all good, man. You know,
what's going in the world of Japan?
Yeah, no, man. It's I've been catching up with a whole lot of Japanese wrestling. You might kind of see my screen here. Japanese
always.
Wrestling.
Yeah,
always. Yeah, I finally got the chance to watch New Japan Noah, which was it was a lot of fun, actually. Surprisingly, no, I'm talking right now.
Nice.
So it's actually the way it was like showed. It was kind of weird because first it was done by pay-per-view. which had a lot of issues with your listening to English commentary. Oh, I'll talk about that bump. Don't worry about it. And then it was shown both in New Japan World and Noah. Well, I chose the Noah feed just because I already know a lot about New Japan, so I wanted to listen to the Noah guys actually break down the Noah matches, which was great. Overall, it was a decent card. It was decent. Not surprisingly, New Japan took majority of the wins. And the
You
ones
called
that
you called
wrestlers,
that last week, didn't you? Or some? Didn't you say that
yeah,
was gonna happen?
yeah, and the guys that lost
Sounds like
from New
GCW.
Japan were guys like on the low rung of things, like Doki stuff like that. So, but I will say though that one of the things that stood out to me was Congo versus Lij. A lot of people don't realize. I've talked about it many times. This guy called Nakajima and Keno. They're from this. Hey, yeah, that's right. That's right. Hey, yeah, and no problem, Jojo. I'm glad you enjoyed it. He asked for a whole bunch of matches to watch
On
to
his
watch.
birthday.
So of
That was on
course
his
I
birth-
gave
that was,
him
that was
a
on
whole
his
bunch of.
birthday, by the way, too. So happy belated birthday. He wanted an early birthday last week, and
Yeah.
we didn't
Wait,
say
how old
shit.
is he? Like, is he
I,
18 now? Is he
I
21?
think he's 16, 14.
JoJo is 14. He's going
14.
he's going to be a freshman in high school. He's super excited about it. Happy birthday, JoJo.
Oh my God,
Happy
he feels so
belated birthday.
old.
He's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me.
I can't tell you. You're probably just bullshit. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no, but the two
We would
standouts is
never.
for sure was Lij versus Congo, and it was as chaotic as you can be. I was super excited because the Congo guys really showed out, and New Japan actually made them look good. Like it was a legit back and forth, and even after the match, it was like after Lij won. All of the guys from Congo, they were just kind of going back and forth. Keno was on the ground trying to get Naito's attention because he was pissed. It was awesome as fuck. The main event, it had Tanahashi and Okada versus Kidamia, which is a young, basically one of the young experiments to have over there, and then also Keiji Muto. But I'll say this though: the good thing is that Keiji Muto did barely nothing, so that made the match good. So essentially, Kidamia took a majority of the match against Tanahashi and Okada, and they actually made him look really good, which is awesome. So those two matches definitely check out. Some other stuff you can check out, whatever, doesn't matter. The part that y'all want to hear about is how awful House of Torture was, and booking and stuff.
Stop.
Now,
He's got to go in timeout for that. That's got to be an immediate timeout. You can't speak about Evil and the House of Torment like that, sir. Not in
How
here.
dare you?
So we're gonna
How
bring the
dare
Evil
you?
House of Torment match, and then when we're done, we'll bring Angel back. So basically, other people entered the match. I wasn't really paying attention. I was so excited for Evil. Josh,
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
hard. It's hard.
Josh
It's
and I
hard
were
to not-
texting each other nonstop. We were like, "Where's Evil? Do you think that? Oh, it's okay, okay."
Yeah.
So then Evil came out, and the match was not great until Evil started getting
Of
more
course.
time in the ring,
Yeah.
and ultimately Evil was the best person in the match.
Elevating everything
I
that he
mean, just
always does. His
everything.
presence alone.
So much eyeshadow. Man, we
I
just
mean, the
got
eyeshadow was on
in the
point,
glory.
like always. Yeah.
So much evil, so much evil. I had the hugest evil erection for the whole match.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter who won because it was 15 to 20 minutes of evil, and I loved it.
The fans won because Evil was in the match. Hello.
Everyone won. Everyone. And you know what?
Except for maybe Angel.
You know, I just want to say this before
he just wants to hate. He just wants to hate.
Evil is way better than Okada. Like Evil is top tier talent. I mean, if you had a match with Evil, Naito, and Okada, if Evil didn't win that, are you really a promotion? Are you really a promotion? Like Evil goes over, Evil gets all the belts, somehow wins the never open weight championship in the process, and then from there, just it's the greatest thing ever happened. Anyway, that's probably enough time and time out for my boy.
Okay, we'll bring him back. Yeah. All right. So what else you got?
You okay? You all right?
Okay, so I'll start with a positive. With the House of Torture. So there was two singles matches.
That match, sir.
No, because I wish it was just one match. I wish it was just one House of Torture match. I wish it was. Unfortunately, for the crowd, it was not. JP says that for a specific reason, and I'll explain in a second. So first it was Show versus Kotoge, which is another Jr. there. Now, this was a decent match until shows start doing House of Torture stuff. So you know what he does. He runs out. He does little shenanigans. He messes with the refs. He takes a wrench, hits the dude, takes the win. Exactly what you want Show to do. Because Show being one of the great young and up, New Japan wrestlers, you think yes, it's exactly what I want to see. Hopefully a future champion to do those shenanigans. Awesome, great job, New Japan. I love it. And then, so I'll say this: my favorite champion of 2020 was Go Shiozaki. For those that don't know, Go Shiozaki was one of the young wrestlers that was with Masada and all that when they jumped to Noah and formed Noah. He was always the guy they always tried to put the belt on, but it never quite worked for different reasons, right? During the pandemic, they put the belt on him, and he had the best matches of the year. He was better than Okada. He was better than Naito. He was better than Moxley. Anyone you can think of, he was better than them all. And then he lost the belt to, unfortunately, Keiji Muto in a horrible match. So he's back. He was out from injury. He comes back. He goes back to Noah. Has these awesome matches in Nakajima against Kidamia. Hold on, JP, don't blow the lead. Good lord. And then right. So I'm like, of course, you have Go Shiozaki. He's back in Noah. He's one of the main guys of Noah. What are you going to do with Go Shiozaki? Yes, let's put him against Evil. Awesome.
Well, duh.
So happy that they brought back Go Shiozaki and him is here. And then not only that, it was against Kidamia, who's like a prodigy of one of the old New Japan wrestlers. I can't think of his name. Maybe JP can bring it up. But it was a decent match from Go and Kidamiya's perspective because they brought it in. But instead, we have Evil doing evil bullshit. And then we have fucking Big Toto doing. Okay, first off, if why does fucking Dick Togo come out with fucking wires? He blatantly comes out with wires, and the ref never takes it away from him. Why? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's nonsense. It's utter evil bullshit. Hashtag evil bullshit. Thank you, JoJo. It is nonsense. And then to make it even worse, because it's nonsense shenanigans. Let's bring all the House of Torture in there. All of the House of Torture. All four of them decide to show up, and now they're in the ring, beating up Go Shiozaki and Kidamia. Thankfully, Kidamia takes them out like the fucking geeks that they fucking are. Takes them out, clothesline them all, and because even though like they're wrestlers, they have to act like they got knocked out for. Oh my god, we got knocked out for a long time because we just took a random clothesline, And then thankfully, Go Shiozaki beats Dick Togo. But the issue with all that.
I just want to ask you one question. I just want to interject one here. It's just an honest question. I'm just keeping you accountable. If Okada if there was ever a match where Okada took a clothesline and was not to return for say like a minute and a half, would he also be like bad?
Well, no, because it'll be a match. See. So one of the tropes I hate in wrestling, one of the biggest tropes I absolutely despise, is whenever wrestlers interfere and they get hit, right? And then they go, oh shit, and they go out, and then like they're knocked out. I'm like,
okay, I see your point. I
got you. Yeah, and that's
I was curious. I was like,
no. I'm talking about the guys that came in to interfere. Yeah, guys that came in to interfere, took a clothesline, and then they're out. Like I'm just like, you're a wrestler though.
In a match, they pop right back up, and you do another.
I hate that trope so much. But the favorite point of that match, and JP burged it. Thank you, JP. Was that the Noah guys said, "Hey, wait a minute. I thought New Japan is the king of pro wrestling. Nah, these guys are the king of shenanigans." And that right there is my issue with New Japan. So between Toriano, between some of the other nonsense they're doing, it does not feel New Japan does not feel like New Japan. It just doesn't. Outside of like Okada, Naito, Tanahashi, these guys, it just feels like it's spinning wheels, especially when you have guys like Evil, and Juju are going after tag team titles. No, like who wants to see that? I don't I need to ask Japanese fans. I really need to go to Japanese groups and ask, do you guys enjoy this House of Torture stuff? Because
Yes.
it reminds me when
Yes.
New Japan
Literally
and
the
Ring
only
of Honor
promotion.
did the show at Madison Square Garden,
It's
right?
literally the only
And you
promotion.
saw it was night and day of what New Japan does and what Ring of Honor did that night. This night, I felt like Noah was showing out like, hey, we're wrestling, we're a wrestling promotion, and New Japan, half of it is just shenanigans, and I don't want to see that. That's not fun. That's not like I said before. I don't watch New Japan for that. But what can you do? We're gonna keep getting all this other nonsense. But what can you do? It's just Noah. All I know is that I'm honestly more excited about Noah. Like I've been watching more Noah events. Because of the event. Hold on, buddy. Because there's Noah New Japan event. I'm like, yeah. I actually wait a minute. I like Noah better right now. So I'm watching more Noah.
Wow.
But of course, I
And that's
still
where
watch New Japan.
and that's where Ninja's heading, right?
Yep, that's where New Mag's heading. And
Is there
tell
a
you.
date for that though? I keep hearing heading and heading. When is
Man,
he
I
getting
I
there?
can't tell you. So Japan Japan is in a weird state right now where so last time I checked it
They're
was maybe
aggressive against COVID.
about a month
They're,
ago.
they're aggressive against COVID. Like over there in the Asian countries, like they're not like over here. They're still doing like you're in a hotel room 10 days when you enter our country,
Yep.
10, like
And then
days to get out. It's hard.
yeah, and then because of Omicron, what they did was they didn't allow any visitors, any tourists. You had to have a work visa or be a citizen to actually go into Japan.
So that's probably
So I think
that's
that's one
probably
of the
what's
reasons
holding
why.
up.
Now I don't know about behind the scenes with Ninja Mac, but I think one of the
Yeah,
reasons
I
why
know he hasn't.
why
He's still here in Texas.
yeah,
He
but
hasn't
it's
left
one of the
yet.
reasons why Ninja Mac is still not doing that, and that's what they're still doing the clap crowds. I'm telling you right now, like it's a shame that all Wrestle Kingdom events had to be in front of clap crowds. It's just not. It's not
Some,
the same. And
mm-mm.
like watching AEW, seeing that, seeing GCW, seeing some of these other promotions, it's like it's night and day how the crowd reacts to wrestling. It just makes it that much better, to be honest.
Yeah.
But hey, what can you do? All I know is that. Oh, and also shout out also because I know there's Doki fans out there. So Tanahashi and what's his name? Takumi Shinoku. They ran a
Mm.
pay per view event. Um, see, he was supposed to be
It
there.
didn't happen though, but yeah, that was the
That
plan probably.
that was like I don't even know if that was the plan or not, but like his plan was to already have been in Noah, and that got
Yeah,
pushed, which allowed him to take place in some other things. I think it's just been pushed further. Him and Dante Leon and ASF are going to the Hammer Machine.
yeah. I just want to say that just
Hammerstick.
a side note before I go back to what I'm talking about. What's pretty cool about seeing Dante Leon and Ninja Mac and ASF. If you look at the poster when they're promoting these what do you call them, like scramble matches, they're like Dante Leon. These guys are in the front, like on the posters shown, like or on the promotion. So I'm like, that's pretty damn cool. Go Texas.
No, JoJo. No.
Yeah, no, not everyone needs to go to Noah.
No, I don't. Bro, I love you, JoJo. I think that one's bad.
Well, I'm still mad at you for that evil bullshit hashtag thing, so I'm kind of mad at you for pretty much the rest of the show.
That's how JoJo.
Here's my thing on Chandler Hopkins. Sorry, I'm just gonna address this comment.
Yeah, go.
That's what we do. That's why we do this live, so we can have comments.
Here's my thing, and I never really root for this for talent because I don't think that Impact is the gateway for everyone that it is for some. But I think Chandler Hopkins is the kind of talent that fits in perfectly in Impact. First of all, if you look in the roots of Impact and TNA, they are heavily rooted in cowboy gimmicks, just because like that's the background of NWA, it's the background of TNA. There's been a lot of stuff, America's Most Wanted, Jeff Jarrett, their Bayside, all that good stuff. So like it makes sense for him to be there. Secondly, he can face guys like Trey Miguel, TJ Perkins, a whole litany of just fucking cruiserweights. Not to mention the fact that Impact has the biggest opening to the Forbidden Door. Like Impact is the door, really and truly. Like it was through them that it all began. Like
Yeah.
Impact is like not everybody do I want them to be in Impact, and I actually don't go for that for a lot of talent.
Impact's not for everybody. No.
Chandler Hopkins would benefit immensely from being Impact. So much so, even I could even see Chandler being on in a MLW / Impact scenario, really, where he works both of those, and then is just able to work the Indies until Chandler ends up signed on a TV deal, because that's going to happen. Like a guy like Chandler Hopkins ends up working.
He's too talented.
Like AEW, somewhere like WWE, like that shit happens because that's who Chandler Hopkins is, and that's the level of his talent. Like he's elevated to a different level at this point.
Yeah, AEW, I think, is the big thing where he fits, though. I mean, that's to me.
Me too. But
he's working a lot with them. Yeah.
AEW is going to have to open up a little bit more talent on these two shows, like for these things to happen. Like they're still trying to feature a lot of that main roster on both shows. Like open that gate up a little bit more. Like, well, not like a Raw SmackDown brand type situation.
No,
I'm totally not seeing guys on Friday that are there on Wednesday regularly. Like if it means if they've done so good with Mark and so good with Elevation, they need to use that same chemistry with Rampage. Let some of that talent get TV time.
Yep, exactly. And I mean, just it's hard. I just have to catch myself because I'm about to say stuff that I probably shouldn't say because I know things that are going to be happening soon. Just keep watching AEW though, but it'll be cool.
Yeah.
I have a question that might actually come into play here because I think it's kind of affecting. Well, not as much Josh's wheelhouse. Indie wrestling is always good, always hot, always well. But
fuck. I hate that kid. Okay, hold on. Let me talk about nonsense. Let me talk about that nonsense real quick. Okay, so first off, I've kind of enjoyed Jeff Jarrett throughout his career. I loved him as Double J. You know, I enjoyed him in when he went to TNA / Impact. Now I even enjoyed a little bit when he went to Mexico. Even though he was being kind of racist, throwing tortillas at the crowd. I thought that's kind of messed up. But, you know, he was very effective at his job, right?
Well, he founded TNA. He didn't go to TNA.
Oh, I'm sorry. No shit. No shit. I'm sorry. Yeah, TNA. Yeah, it's been such a long time. I apologize. Yes, he did find you're right. He did find TNA. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff Jarrett. But this whole, I don't know why GCW brought him in, to be honest. I guess because he makes a very dastardly heel. And he's been taken out Pussy, or I guess that's the name. That's their name with guitars.
Bussy.
Bussy. I'm sorry, Bussy. I apologize. The commentators confused me because how they talk about these guys, or sorry, and gal.
He's feuding with Effie, and one of Effie's best friends is Alley Catch, and that's where Bussy comes in. And that's why he attacked Bussy. Yeah. I will tell you why GCW brought him in. I don't agree with it, but I'll tell you why. GCW has been heavily tapping. I mean, just like heavily tapping that Legends button. But to Brett's defense, like he does make sure the Legends that come in can wrestle. Like you don't see any of this.
Jeff could probably still work.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah,
so far so good. Like he brought in Kevin Nash into the last GCW show, and Kevin
that was cool.
He didn't work. He only came out, talked. He put over talent. Sabu came out, and he was only there just a little bit. So like Brett Lauderdale actually. You are definitely a bussy. Look it up, Nasico. You are a bussy. You are a bussy, Nasico. But
okay, Kevin Gill.
Yeah, Brett's done really well to make sure that the talent that books can wrestle. I'm open to seeing what happens here, but the reality of the situation is, to answer JP's question, Jeff Jarrett had to have called himself the last outlaw. There's just no way that anybody else.
It's so dumb. Yeah, just for people don't know, he put out this promo saying, you know, some people call me the last outlaw. Not a single fucking person. Not a single person in the fucking world. Maybe his mom. Maybe Kurt Angle's ex-wife. You know, who's currently Jeff Jarrett's wife. Maybe his homies.
He probably told Kevin Gill, like he was like, hey. What should I call you at the announcer table? And Jeff Jarrett was like, oh shit, okay. They call me the last outlaw. And Jeff Jarrett was like, great, this sounds great. And he just walked off, and Jeff Jarrett was like, hey, I need to do a new promo. Some people are calling me the last outlaw now.
Dude, it's so dude. I was when I saw that that's what I saw. I was like, oh my god, Jeff Jarrett, really? We're doing the
Don't we
last
have
outlaw.
another outlaw
Okay.
in wrestling? Like, isn't there another out? Like I know Hangman Page is like a cowboy gimmick, not quite an outlaw, but like I feel like there's got to be another outlaw gimmick in wrestling right now. I wish there was.
Well, I mean,
You know what?
James Storm, no.
No, he wasn't an outlaw.
What were they called? Their team, Most Wanted, right?
They're America's
Most wanted. Yep, AMW.
And then Beer Money, right?
Beer Money, yeah.
Like TNA's, that's why I say TNA Impact's a great place for Chandler.
Oh my god,
Impact
and
TNA, they've always done well with gimmicks like that. And Chandler live.
Yes, he can, dude. That match, dude. So
Chandler can do anything there.
Dude, I remember when I went to Heavy Metal and I was excited to see ACH, and it was like against this dude named Chandler Hopkins. Like, who the fuck is Chandler Hopkins? Like, what the fuck is that? And then he just had the match. I was like, holy shit, this cowboy can fly. Wow.
And you're talking about the only two guys that were rooting for him in that show.
Yeah, dude. I was blown away. I'm like, yo, this Chandler Hopkins, bro.
I found out about that match the day before, and back then I was a DJ at a bar. Like it was impossible to get a Friday night off as it was. The next night off was even worse. I moved heaven and earth. I'm not joking, y'all. I think I paid my counterpart like $75 in bar tab. I was just like, I'll give you bar tab. Just let me get out of here. And I mean, we went to that show, and it was one of the best shows. If you're out there, if you're watching, if you were on the show, the card Heavy Metal, hey brother, I heard you're running in November. If you ran it Dunbar, it was a great show, man. And that match was so amazing. That ACH Chandler Hopkins match was so good. The whole internet was talking about it. The whole internet, because you remember ACH had just been
he just
whatever it was retired or whatever.
No,
he quit.
He quit, right? Yeah, because of the shirt.
And he had left, and this was
and it was right after
the Indies.
So quick.
Chandler Hopkins was the match. So when the card came out, all the WWE Mark fanboys just start talking shit online, like, oh yeah, look who's already booking ACH. But it was Chandler Hopkins people were talking about, like, and they went out and I know that it sucks, and it sucks that like the momentum of shit talk didn't get followed up with the momentum of how good that match was, because it was an amazing fucking match.
So
and not only that, the ending, which it's not really my place to spread. No, we can share it. Chandler told all the story. ACH called a reversal in the ring and let Chandler go over, even though that was not.
That's right.
That's how it wasn't booked. Yeah, he told me. It's been 2 years or so since we
it's really an amazing testament to everyone involved in the situation, because I'll fucking talk forever. I better stop.
It was great.
Where's Africa's at? Let's go, baby. Hey.
Somebody else out of Dallas needs to book Chandler Hopkins too. Like, I'm not trying to shit on Dallas, but the Bronco crew doesn't head up there very often, and
it's hard for me. 5 hours.
Come on, man.
I'm old.
I know PBW books Chandler, but somebody else too. Come on, man.
Come on, yo.
San Antonio. I have a real question. We got sidetracked from my real question.
Oh yeah, good.
It's big in all the talk. You've heard it. I know everyone's seen it online. There's starting to be this wave of a rumor going around that wrestling is reaching a lull and fans are not invested in the product. I started seeing this circulate when we had the famous picture last week of AEW having a half-empty arena that somebody took while Hangman Page was coming out. It was a WWE style picture. The left side of the arena was not full. Now, mind you, this was an up north show. It was very cold. Apparently, they were experiencing weather delays up there.
It happens this time of year, almost every year.
Did you see this week, though? The crowd this week.
The buzz has been going that wrestling is in a lull, and it's not putting out as good of a product. Josh and I put, oh man, that dude talks podcast. First of all, Chandler Hopkins is over as fuck. In the pit, we are over as fuck. Just because I said it, I don't give a fuck what you think. We're over as fuck. And fucking That Dude Talks podcast is over as fuck. Yeah. So if you got a chance to listen to that episode, that's got all three right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Shot 0, baby.
But do you really believe that wrestling could be in a lull? Like, is it a possibility? Now, I'm just going to remind you that Angel recapped most of Wrestle Kingdom and was fairly unimpressed with a lot that was involved. Your initial recap we got today was fairly unimpressed. I don't have really that much. Like, the deathmatch scene has even come to a slow.
Is the travel restrictions that have been ramped back up causing part of this?
That's what I was arguing with people. I said, This does not feel like wrestling is in a lull. I mean, we have an oversaturation of the market that is definitely going on. You have to
Well,
really.
everybody's trapped here now.
Yeah.
But right, that's what I was telling people. I'm like,
And
COVID
we
is
can't
bad.
get out. Yeah.
Who
we
will
can't-
go out? Who will buy tickets to your
Yeah.
shows? Like, what's your gate
It's
going to
not
be
wrestling. It's the world we live in.
like? That's what I'm thinking too.
Because I mean, literally, we can go 19 months ago when all this started happening. There was no shows.
Yeah, there was none.
There was
It was
nobody
just
in the
UFC,
stands.
really.
There was nobody in the stands.
Yeah.
And UFC, there was nobody in those because they were doing them at the Apex.
Yeah.
And then they bought an island, which they bought an island bullshit.
Yeah, that's such a bullshit
Dana
thing.
White, fucking Dana talking
Pissed.
shit like he's a fucking pimp or something.
Fucking asshole.
I think,
but anyway, yeah, I think so. Like, I think it's just it's actually grown more than it was a year ago because there's actually people in the crowd.
See,
my thing is this. This is my only take on it, and I don't want to bash AEW. I think the rapid signings to AEW has really put a pressure on what the bar is. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
fair.
I think that fans, I think the fan base doesn't understand the product right now and what's happening. I think there's a lot of casual fans that are entering in this game, and this is a level of wrestling that we've never seen before.
That's a good.
So there's a lot of stuff that's like happening, and it's so fast. A lot of this instant gratification. Yeah. AEW is really trying to stick to that long storytelling, which I love.
Appreciate them for that.
I do too.
I
just think that fans, there's an initial level of fans that are just like waiting for the next thing. Like, honestly, JoJo's got a good comment up about Cody. That's another big thing. I think there's this level of
no way.
Cody's actually a really good example of why people are bored with wrestling. I'm gonna throw this one out there.
I'm bored with it.
Cody Rhodes sucks. Cody Rhodes sucks. And I'm gonna tell you this: when I saw his promo last night, I was so. What is it? AEW Black Ops. No, Bertos. Miss us with that. We've seen it all too much. It's okay. We're not bashing it. We understand. We the pit understand that sometimes you don't sell every seat. That's just reality.
It happens. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
But my thing is, like, at what point do you have to stop saying, like, okay, well, if you're not signed to AEW, you ain't shit? Because that's not really the fucking truth. That's not really the fucking truth. There's a lot of people. Oh, that's what we're talking about. Cody, sorry. You got me sidetracked. Cody cut a promo last night in the ring. And the first thing he does is get in the ring. And somebody put up a really good meme that he was like, wow. In Cody's promo that he cut, he referenced Brody Lee's son, the AEW TNT title and its long regime, the importance. Like, he kept referencing all these different cheap pops to get himself over. And my thing is like this: why do you have to come out and like, first of all, Brody King has a serious problem. Like, Cody literally came out and said, "Oh, I thought there's only supposed to be one Brody in AEW." I don't know if Brody King's going to be able to recover from that. Like, that's a real deal. Yeah. Honestly, that's
think? That's a big shovel. Yeah.
You think?
That's a big.
See, I don't.
Huge.
Yeah. So
I hope so.
So when I heard the comment,
okay. I thought that was the shittiest thing. Like, that when Cody said that, I was like, I'm done with you. Like, I was neutral on the fence, but that kind of thing.
He better work him and put him fucking over.
see, but I'll give you this. Cody does do that. Now, mind you, I hate. I'm the one that has to kind of defend Cody because I do. Like, I'm one of the guys. I am bored by Cody. I like when Cody left. I was like, good. I don't need. I like that kind of character. I don't need that in my life. I don't need that. I don't need that in wrestling. I think he's over dramatic over everything. He is like Edge, and so because I dislike Edge in so many reasons. But one of the things that's like about Edge, they every time they do promos, it's like it's about my career, it's about my life, it's about my livelihood. It's all this nonsense. Like, dude, it's not that serious. Just fucking fight, right? So, but I'll say this about Cody. So far, other than what happened with Sammy, he puts the guys over. I give him that. He is feuding with the House of. Not house. That's a comic book. What are they called? The House of Evil, House of Black. House of Black. Yeah, my bad.
You can catch me on another podcast if you want to talk about House of M.
Oh, hey, dude.
Bro,
hey.
When you come
I don't even show you my comic books right now. But anyways, right. So I saw that and I was like, okay, it was just a cheap knock against Brody King, and I get it. Like, he's feuding against them. I would be more upset if he wasn't feuding against them, But like you said though, if he's
That's
gonna
what
do
I
that,
said.
you know, see, to me, as soon as he said that, that should have been the cue for Brody King to come out. Lights go out.
Yeah.
Brody King comes out. I'm like, oh, really? There's only
Yeah.
one Brody? Boom! Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here, son.
I'm gonna tell you, AEW coveting Brody Lee, it's fucking, it's pointless at this point. Like it's ruining the situation. Like, I'm not trying to put any disrespect on Brody Lee, not at all. Like, people pass, people move on. The business goes on. Eddie Guerrero is not the only Eddie that's ever wrestled, and there's been other Eddies since Eddie. If we had a guy that had the momentum of someone like Brody King, and he finally makes it to the WWE after years and years and years of work and a large, dedicated fan base that wanted him there, and then some asshole, and I'm calling it an asshole, I don't give a fuck, and I know, listen, dogs are so near to my heart. There's nothing more important to me than dogs, and I know Cody Rhodes is a huge component for dogs, and on a personal level, thank you so much for all the shows you run that get dogs adopted and shit. But this fucking burying Brody King thing was bullshit. Imagine somebody in WWE going, there will only ever be one Eddie. That's a reality. Like Brody Lee is a coveted, hallowed name in AEW, and that's okay. But to take it to this point of saying you will never be him, he's buried, dude. Like, the fan base is always going to remember that. They're always going to remember that Cody said that there's only one Brody in AEW, and all the other Brodies are never going to be good enough.
I think I think we'll see how it goes. I mean,
I've been trying to say something. Y'all haven't let me.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I'm by far the biggest Cody fan on the show.
Yeah, right.
Cody's like one of my favorites, so I want to say something now. I mean, so what happened? He's in a storyline with that group, which includes Brody,
right?
And if he's trying to get fucking heat, like, what's the best way to do that than that? Like, how could he? What I mean, my thing though is if he goes and squashes Brody King, that's a bury.
Thank you. Yes,
but
I agree with that.
They work a match. He makes Brody, because he puts people over most of the time. He fucked Sammy over some reason. I don't know what the fuck that was about. And then got sick, so that's the only reason Sammy got the belt back again, or whatever the reason that was that he had to cancel. I think I feel like we can't write it off yet. When they face, that's when we'll see what that meant, in my opinion.
So
I agree with that.
Could he not have been more creative with his promo?
Oh yeah.
Like,
was it an easy cheap pop?
It was easy cheap pop
in the middle of the match, and
you know,
saying, hey, I'm here. We already had a Brody do that, man.
Yeah.
Be more creative.
But I mean, cheap pops have got people in the Hall of Fame.
They do, yeah. You know, it was funny. I saw a poll in a group, and it said,
Mick Foley.
No, exactly, dude. I was about to say. There was a poll that was saying, what's a worse cheap pop? The Mick Foley, hey, shout out to the town, or the Cody Rhodes reference WWE?
If it's a cheap pop from somebody that people love, it's cool. If it's a cheap pop from somebody or borderline already hating, what a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just
no. Yeah, it's a double standard.
That's human nature, and that's fine. And that's the way it is. If you don't like a person, it's not going to take you much to push them off the edge. You know what I mean? If you're already on the urge, like if you're already holding them over the edge, it's easy to let go. You know what I mean? If you're pulling them off the edge, it's going to be harder because you're a fan of his, you know? So this is the way it is, you know? And I guess I'm blinded by all the personal conversations that I've had with him. Like, I've met him and talked to him over a span of 15 years now. Like,
Cody?
You know, and every time I've talked to him,
oh man, Josh is a huge Cody Rhodes
I'm
fan.
such a huge Cody Rhodes fan, man. I've been
I'll give this one of the nicest wrestlers I've always met. Cody.
I'm blinded by the interactions I've had with him.
Look, it's not personal. I want you to really think something about this. Like, let me put this in perspective for everyone that's out there.
Sure.
Imagine you're at your job and you're really good at your fucking job. And all of a sudden your boss comes to you and says, what if you did your job, but in an opposite direction? I disagree with you there, Chris. I love you, my guy. I really do. You know, I put you on my side. But MJF doesn't do cheap pops. You can't really call spitting gum at people's faces a cheap pop. Like, MJF's cheap pop is an easy layup. Like, that's the whole thing. That's like that's how you get your girl revved up. You know what I mean? Like that's not the real deal. Like that's just how you get things going. Like he'll go out make a cheap pop, but you know that real shit's coming. That real fucking do this, do that. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that's true, Christian. Come on, man.
That's a good point. Look at that. Aaron Mercer came out of nowhere. Just coming
Man,
out with facts.
thank God.
See,
Thank God.
Aren't y'all glad I finally fixed the fucking comments? So now we can see.
I know, right,
these guys have
dude?
been commenting, like all these guys have been commenting.
Really?
We haven't been able to see them.
Yeah,
For like.
Oh shit!
Shout out to Aaron Mercer. By the way, if
Yeah,
y'all are not paying attention, Heavy Metal's been putting up real shit. There is a big match coming up, no ring show, February 11th. Our boy Luchador Insane has been announced in a death match against another guy that's been talking to us before, Stud Stash. Man,
Yeah.
how about that?
Be good.
We've had Stud Stash in the pit, right?
Who?
No, we've had Stud Stash in the pit, right?
Yeah, long time ago.
Studtacular.
Long time ago.
That was Bryson. Sorry. Anyway,
That's back to
the topic.
because that's how he got his start. That's who got him in, and he was security for.
Yeah, that's how I met him. Actually, that's how I met Stud Stash. Was
I mean, that's how he got into business.
Yeah,
I think great. As far as I saw, that's how
I loved it.
Him and Charlie would go.
This big guy?
And Charlie and him would go at it. When he was like 6 or 7 years old, and he's there yelling at him like that. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
My thing is this: Cody's a great guy.
Pause.
Dude, come on, man.
Okay.
Hey, and he's been asking for more death matches. He's been asking for more death matches.
You gotta hook me up. You gotta tell me. You gotta give me the secrets. I had to find out.
What? Wait a minute, Mel. Hold on. Wait, did Mel work a post into a job? Look at that. That's our girl. That's what I'm talking about.
Have fun at Loco. Drink one for me, Mel. Take a Jello shot for me.
Don't worry. Hey, I will do a whole bunch for you. I got you, Brad.
You need to. I wouldn't miss Loco if it wasn't important. I got a big project that they're gonna let me on at work, and I need this. I've been working a shot. I need this. So I was like, I gotta stay. It's taking place it's from 4 to 6 tomorrow. I was like, damn, is it? Anyway.
Anyway. Yep.
Cody's a great dude. Like,
honestly, yeah. Hey, I was gonna say, since I saw a comment here. Let me bring it back up. That Berto said name is just a name. That brings up something I wanted to bring up because I wanted to have a great laugh. So the L of the week goes to the WWE.
Disclaimer though. We're gonna cover this story because Walter was big on the indie scene.
Yes. No. And that's why. And that's why. No. And that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm gonna talk about because I followed Walter to. I was gonna say I followed Walter for a very fucking long time. I followed him in W6W. He was awesome W6W. He was awesome in Progress. He was awesome in ICW. He was awesome even when he came to America.
He had one of the best matches in GCW history of PCO. PCO and took it. Yes.
So I love and they say Walter, right. And then they changed his fucking name to a Nazi general. I was like why?
Here's the thing. Hear me out on this one.
Okay.
So Walter does not want to be in America. Walter,
he actually moved here.
Because he moved here, but he doesn't want to be here.
Let him talk. You cut him off like 3 times, bro. Let him talk.
I think I think that this is about that merchandise situation. You know how sometimes those guys come in like AJ Styles. AJ Styles was like, I'm not going anywhere else. That's why he came in and gave them his name. He knew he was retiring in WWE. But a guy like Walter, he's not going to do that. And when you get called into the main roster, if they can't have your name, they give you a new one. That's the one. Like, I know everybody's up in arms about this one, but y'all got to keep in mind, Walter stood against Vince for a long time. Walter's wanted Vince since before, or Vince has wanted Walter since before he was a UK champ. So it's taken him 3 years to get him, and now he's there. He's got to give up the name to WWE, or he's got to change it. Like that's
let's remember the one thing, and like I said, we don't need to talk so much about WWE,
right?
I just wanted because I thought it was funny as fuck.
No, but just something to remember though. A lot of times, and I don't know why it would be any different, but these name changes that everybody always says, "Oh, what a stupid name!" and why do they get a stupid name? The talent agrees to it or chooses it themselves 99% of the time. So everybody's burying fucking the WWE because like again, here we are because like with the Cody thing, I already hate him. So anything, oh fuck that guy. Well, we already hate Vince because we have justifiable reasons to hate them.
Yeah.
But then any little thing, oh, that's another one.
Yeah.
And it's probably not
No,
even.
no.
You know what I mean?
To me,
You're probably
to
a part
me,
of it.
Yeah.
Like leave it Walter. Let him hate
Yeah.
Walter. Don't try to buy everybody's name. Don't quit being a fucking greedy prick.
Yeah.
That we can say
Dude,
that, but
yeah.
choosing the name, oh, it's a Nazi. Okay, Walter agreed to it too.
Yeah.
More than likely. More than likely.
Well, keep in mind,
I was just like, come on, y'all. Take the Google.
Walter's
Take a Google
from
search.
Germany. Walter's like legitimately, he's Austrian. Like he's from there. That would be like saying I'm born on American soil, but there's no way I'm in like my name's just not connected to Americanized names. Like I do agree with Josh to this point. Like Gunther Stark, like that was like desperate. Like I was like, oh, like if you're gonna go double name, like first and last, do your research. But just Gunther, I'm okay with it just because most German names you could probably trace them back to some Nazi lineages. That's just how it is. Like, that's kind of the territory that comes with it. Exactly. But like, I agree with Josh on this one. I think that the truth is like it's a merchandising situation, and I think that Walter is investing in himself.
A smart choice, and
right?
It's the price he's paying.
Future, like Walter's saying, I'm willing to look like a dumbass for a month until people forget this shit and they start calling me Gunther, and then I'll just go back to being a badass Walter who slaps people. And when I'm done, I'll own my real name that people remembered me by then and will remember me by after.
And I don't think, and I'm not sure, but usually timelines, if you kind of keep up with them, I mean, he probably didn't sign a brand new contract. Like he's under the contract that he was under, so who knows how long he's even going to still be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Like,
so
I bet they have. I was thinking that the other day. I think they have told us about that.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like he was under contract with NXT UK, and that's done. Like NXT UK is done.
No, it's still on.
No, they're not pushing it. Like they have, like they're.
But they've never pushed NXT. Like that's the sad thing about. Okay, so that's a whole nother rant.
That's like the definition of not pushing your brand.
No, but they've never pushed NXT. I'm telling you right now. Even when Walter was doing his thing, he showed up one time because of Raw. But I'm telling you, like NXT UK was one of my favorite promotions. I mean, I hated it because of what it did to the UK scene, but it legit has good wrestling in it.
Yeah.
But it's like the one thing that Vince hasn't touched. No, he has not touched yet. So please, actually, let's not even talk about it. I don't want him to mess it. I don't want to mess with it. Yeah, just that. Hey, actually, Brad, since this Sunday is going to be the GCW Hammerstein. What's like one match to like? What should I be excited about it? Like, well, what's one match I should be excited for, other than the Outlaw?
So there's actually the only matches that have been announced. There's like a couple. There's a ladder match. There's a grab the brass ring ladder match. That's the one I'm going to endorse the most because we actually have two Texas talent in that match.
Yeah.
ASF is in that match and Ninja Mac is in that match.
Yep.
That's the one I would say be the most excited about. The outcome.
That's the one I'm still excited about. Yeah.
Right. It's not just a random scramble. It's an actual grab the brass ring ladder match, which is an expression that's come around in GCW. It's like their version of Money in the Bank. The winner gets a title shot anytime, anywhere.
AEW did it last year too.
Right. Right.
Yeah. The Sonic Ring.
Yes,
I will tell you. So there's been a big controversy and debate about if GCW has stayed true to its roots in its booking for Hammerstein, and I have comments about that. I don't think it's possible to stay true to your roots when you're booking at Hammerstein. GCW's roots is deathmatch holidays. That's GCW's roots. You can't do deathmatch. You can't do blood in New York. GCW is staying true to who it is and booking fire ass matches. On big ass platforms, and so far everything that they've announced has been huge. I wasn't as big of a fan of Mox versus Homicide for the title as most people were, but it played out in a 30-man rumble for that shot, and it also I'm willing to see where Brett goes with it Sunday. A lot of people wanted Atticus in that spot, but I also understand it's got to have big fight hype. It's a $25 pay-per-view.
That's it.
No,
that's a lot.
GCW is only $14.
Yeah, it's a bump. It's a bump
because they run 2 shows almost every time.
Yeah,
you get both shows for $21.
Yeah,
and it's not that
25.
well.
It's 25. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay. Oh, wow.
I'm happy. And
JP announced, or JP referencing the Briscoes Open Challenge.
He's the Christian.
I don't know who's going to answer that challenge, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I really do. I do see GCW taking the titles off Briscoes at Hammerstein.
You think FTR, is that already gonna happen, or are they saving that for AEW?
Man, they've been talking about it, and I even heard it so much last week as it was pretty booked because they were talking shit online. I hope not, and here's why. I think Brett's made a lot of moves of bringing people in that don't have anything to do with GCW for this show. We have Jeff Jarrett on this card. Jeff fucking Jarrett is on this card. Do with that what you will.
Yep.
I don't think that I don't think the FTR is over. I think honestly, what we saw in AAA was a big tell in how much people actually don't really give a fuck about FTR outside of AEW and WWE. They went to AAA. They were in the main event. They won the tag team titles. And not only did people not care, they were more pissed off with how late in the show that was. People were annoyed with the situation. FTR was not over there. And I don't know the FTR. I think Brett's tapping the Legends button, the WWE button, the big shit contract button. But honestly, for your forward motion, I think there's a lot of tag teams that could come in there and face better than FTR.
Hey, I would, dude. I would not be shocked. Talking about Legends. Talking about Legends.
Any piece of the Briscoes. That's
Dude,
my opinion.
I'm trying to think if it's Hammerstein. Like, since they love tapping so much, so they've been touching the ECW button a lot lately. Would you be shocked if the Dudley Boys randomly just show up?
No way.
They couldn't work. They couldn't work a match.
No way. Devon's still under contract with WWE.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. And everybody hates Bully right now. So
yeah. Well, yeah. He was talking shit about Mox last night. He on Today Plus It Open. He was telling people, he was like, "I apologize to the fans." I was like, "Yeah, if you had to tell me, guess who said this? My first guess probably would have been Cornette. My second would have been Bully Ray
and Booker."
So let's talk about Mox real quick. I just because of a personal connection to those kind of issues. Going to rehab. So I just want to shout out, welcome back, congratulations on making the right steps. Very, very proud. Someone that I've interacted with a few times recently, and so just much respect for the people that if you feel like you need help, get help. That's all I got to say.
Sure, yeah, and you know what? If you're a fan,
and don't be ashamed of it.
Yeah, if you're a fan, don't be a dick.
Save your life. Yeah, what the fuck, man? If I was sitting next to whoever said that shit,
I would have punched him in the face.
I would have whipped his fucking ass right then and there,
dude.
And then drug him to Mox so that Mox could kick his ass.
Yeah, listen, I get, and I saw this in GCW. I showed this clip to Brad too in GCW where something was happening with one of the 4-for-0 guys, and the fan was like really just in this dude's face. It was like flipping him off and was like trying to touch him and all that, and just like I was like, dude, like there's a fine line between. Being like,
Atticus too, right?
Fire.
That was with Atticus too, right?
It was all of 440. It happened in multiple scenarios. GCW has been taking heavy fire for its crowd lately. It's a double-edged sword. Like on the one hand, like Nick Gage comes out and it's like everyone's rowdy, fucking back.
And he jumps. You have to be there, and it's like mosh pit.
Right. So the situation the Angel is referencing is.
So how do you turn around and say, "Don't touch the talent"?
Right, so that's a good point. Like, and this is even like an even finer line because Angel's talking about a situation where Atticus, Gregory Iron, and Eddie Only were coming out of the ring, trying to cut a promo, and Greg was just sitting there with a whistle trying to annoy people, and a fan actually reached over and yanked the whistle out of Gregory's mouth. And here's my take on this: at that point, Gregory has every right to do whatever he wants. This is a person that's assaulted another person, and I'll take it even a step further and reference football. Football designates anything that's connected to the player as part of the uniform that they can be tackled by. So you can be tackled by your jersey, you can be tackled by your dreadlocks. So I feel like if that's the situation in football, if you yank a whistle out of someone's mouth that's actively blowing it, what if Greg was biting down on that whistle and it just chipped a tooth? Like, that's the type of shit. Like, it's not so much about the fact that the fan crossed the line or the fan touched Greg. It's about the fact that these wrestlers have physical interactions with other trained people, and this person that's contacted Greg is not a trained individual. So Greg's safety is not in consideration at that point. I think Greg's right to do what Greg did, and Greg handled it the best way, got in his face, called his shit out. Didn't make a huge deal out of it, but
no, that fan got lucky.
Yeah, fan got lucky. Yeah, because unlike the one that happened with Mox,
that if it had been like Gregory Iron for all the shitty fuck you bullshit in the ring heel that he does, he is the exact opposite as a human being. Gregory Iron is one of the more comfortable people, nicest people in the world. Like, shouldn't be fucking with talent to that matter. And honestly, Atticus Kogar is not that bad too in the real world. I've seen Atticus Kogar have to approach a fan and be like, "Hey man, that's you yelling that shit during my match is not cool. Like, I get you want to hate me, that's cool. But if you're just gonna yell shit that's absurd, obnoxious, Nazi remarks and shit like that, my matches are gonna get censored or pulled off. Like, people are gonna hate me.
Yeah,
shit. Like, there has to be a line that fans cannot cross.
Yeah,
and honestly." GCW is about to fucking define that at some point. It's going to happen.
Because what happens, I think, I mean, everybody wants to get over, right? And some fans really try to get over. And, like, that's not what you're going to a show for. You know what I mean? Fans try to get over. I mean, because, like, all of us, we all talk during shows when we're there. Like, we say stuff throughout the whole matches, yelling, talking shit. I mean, especially, numero dos. Everybody knows when he's at a show. He's really loud. But he doesn't cross the line, and it's part of the show, and he's not trying to get over. He's having a good time and trying to get people around him to have a good time. But if you're going to the show, because we all know fucking I don't want to say names of people, but we know people that go to shows to try to get fucking over as a fan. You bought a ticket to go see a show, buy your fucking ticket and go fucking watch a show.
And be a decent human being,
and that's it.
Like,
and have fun and talk shit and say all you
talk shit, but like But like telling Mox like all that crap that he did,
like say stuff like that,
Yeah, like it's never cool to call out someone for their addiction and be like, what the fuck was that? I heard that they took him out. I'm pissed. Then one pushed and punched him in the face.
Imagine insulting another.
That's hard right there, bro. That's hard right there. Read that. I don't know. It can't be. It can't be because we can't trust fans to know the difference.
Yeah, we can't.
Hey,
we can't trust fans to know the difference. My opinion. And I love you, Christian, man, but I get it, but I don't.
So here's a really good.
When you include alcohol, that flies out the window. Yeah, but I think it should just be out the window.
I think a lot of people. There's a lot of wrestlers I've been seeing this lately having to have like these weird conversations with fans about what the line is and where you cross. And one of the pieces of advice I always give, 100%.
Yes.
One of the pieces of advice I always give is you should feel free to interact with talent the way the talent interacts with you. That's 100%. Like, you have talent come up to you and say, "You're a great fan. I'm glad you're a fan." Then you're a fan. If somebody says, "Hey, I'm gonna message you after the match, see what we can connect, merch, whatever," you message them. But there's no reason for you to be shouting at people that are in the ring talking about their addictions that are come back from that they're a drunken piece of shit. Honestly, you're probably the drunken piece of shit, and you're so fucking jealous and insecure with where you're at in your own situation that you'd rather shout at someone else who's completed recovery, and you're just in the audience an insignificant no one who can't even fucking, sit quiet in a moment of silence that everyone else in the room is happy for. Like, you're a piece of shit. Like, I don't think you should be kicked out for heckling a fan. I think you should be kicked out because we have defined that you, in fact, sir, are the biggest piece of shit in the room.
Yeah.
Like, anytime you can label that guy, you can be like, wow, there's just an absolute turd in our midst. Like, just flush that motherfucker.
Exactly right. Yeah, so I think that's a good way to end it right there because I think we all agree with that. So let's get this. We've got the angriness out, so now let's have some fun. It's about that time to start wrapping up the show. Mount Rushmore.
So, wait, hey, Josh, because we need like a jingle. Like a jingle that plays.
Oh, like a song. It's that time, Mount Rushmore in the pit. Get some fun. Like, I don't know. That didn't rhyme.
I mean, that was awful, but still, I'll into it though.
That's the budget that we have at the show.
That's
probably the best we're going to get.
Franco's going to loop that back, man. Franco's going to loop that back and just make it the intro.
Yeah. So I guess we can start with, because Mel actually sent hers in. So let's just start with hers. I'm
taking a gamble. I have a bet on what movie I think shows up in everyone's list. Go ahead. Be ready.
We'll see.
Okay. Looking at Mel's list, I think you're wrong.
Yeah, because I think my list, you're not gonna.
Okay. But now I'm worried because Josh said that. I'm immediately worried.
Because I know two of the lists, and I'm looking at them. And so anyway, but I think I know what you're talking about. Mel's number one. Hell goes to Frogtown.
Oh, damn it! Good one.
I saw that. I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
Leprechaun Origins, which was almost made my list. It almost made my list. It was like 5th or 6th on my list. And then number 3, the Chaperone,
Oh, of course. Terrible.
and that's actually on my list. And number 4, Santa with muscles.
Ooh, that was a close one. That was a close one for me.
She wanted to throw in
You
a, you know,
think Santa with muscles was the worst wrestler Santa movie, Mel? Get the fuck out of here.
so, and she pulled a little bit of an angel and threw an honorable mention and said Marine 2 because they don't ever just do 4. She threw in Marine 2. So I don't know if that might help your
pick
little
that one,
scenario.
but I was like, man, I wish I could have 5. I would pick Marine 2.
Yeah.
I own
So let's
Marine
go.
2. It's awful.
Yeah. So we're gonna go. So we'll go with Angel next.
Okay.
And we'll
So-
work our way
so-
back to me. I'll finish.
Yeah,
This one.
so she took 2 of mine already. So
Yeah.
I thought no one knew about Hell Comes to Frogtown. I'm
What?
not like
Roddy Piper.
they do, okay, but see, people would think Roddy Piper think of They Live. They don't think
Yeah.
about Hell Comes to Frogtown.
We're thinking
Like,
bad. We're thinking bad movies though.
Yeah, no, I know. Like, it's one of those movies where like it's like the mutants are terrible. It's like frogs. It's just a bad movie. Like, it's not even a movie you
no,
can watch. Like,
if you Google-
ironically,
If you Google worst movies starring wrestlers, because I just want some context. I was like, let me just make sure I'm not missing any.
yeah.
What comes to Frogtown? It's one of the only ones that was on every fucking list I read.
Damn, okay.
I mean, I've seen
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Chaperone only made 2 of the 4 lists I read, but Hell Comes to Frogtown on every one of them.
Damn it. Okay.
Right,
So
this one.
I
Number
thought
2.
that one's like legit. Next one, Leprechaun Origins. I'm gonna tell you right now. So a lot of people WB started doing WB films. I don't know if they still do this. And so they came out with some decent films. They came out with the one with Kane, which I thought was pretty fun. So I was like, oh, they're doing a Leprechaun. I'm a big Leprechaun fan. It's the most ridiculous shit. Like, Leprechaun in the Hood is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Leprechaun 2
a friend in
was
weed
the
is a friend
first
in
movie
deed.
that ever scared me. Leprechaun 2
Dude,
was the first movie that ever
so
scared
good.
the fuck out of me.
So I'm like, wait a minute, you have Hornswoggle here, who I thought was like, hey, this should be pretty interesting. No, it was awful. It was one of the worst things I've seen in my life. It wasn't scary. It wasn't funny. It was just straight up like, this is trash. And fun fact, just Hornswoggle recently got into a boxing match and just got his ass whooped. So Google that.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's
It
a
was
very
bad.
funny
It was
clip to
bad.
watch.
It was
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. So my next one is Santa Sleigh. So it's very close to Santa with muscles. Santa Sleigh, Goldberg, I think, is one of the worst wrestlers of all time. And this might shock you. Goldberg as Santa Claus is a terrible Santa Claus and one of the worst actors of all time too. So Goldberg is very consistent in all of his career.
Hey, he's an accountant. He's an accountant. What do you expect?
Yeah, it's awful.
People
To me-
forget he's an accountant.
Yeah. And to me, the worst.
Oh, look at that.
Oh no! What? But I will say this,
That's
and
why
just
they're not Rushmores.
yeah, and just before I go with my last movie, I didn't pick any Hulk Hogan movies because I think they're always fun. I think like no matter how bad they are, Hulk Hogan movies are cheesy fun. Even and I know another Hulk movie. I'm not gonna say it. I know another Hulk movie you're thinking of. I know the one you're thinking of, Josh. But I think they're fun. I think they're fun. I didn't watch Nanny, by the way. I didn't watch Mr. Nanny because I thought it just looked awful. But my number one is Doom. Because so people don't realize this. I'm also a huge video game fan. And before video game movies were all right, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna make a Doom movie out of all the video game franchises. That makes so much sense. It should be an awesome movie. It was awful. And then the worst part is at the end they cut into a Doom scene. Just like you're the video game.
Yeah.
It was so bad. It was so
JoJo,
bad.
I think we
Not
have
only
to
that,
actually
like the
sit up
video
next to
game scene with The Rock, like when he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna doom up," and they do the first person cam thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
When I first started, I was like, "Shit, yes, like this is actually kind of cool." And it's like, "Wow, how'd you fuck that up?" Like you have nothing but reference material. Like everything that before this, like you're making it.
Get out.
Oh,
Get out. There's nothing good about Doom. Get out of here, Mel. God.
Mel.
You go, Brad. Go ahead. So that's my list. Doom.
Mel's in timeout. You're in there. You're in there with JoJo. You're in there with Nasico. I hope y'all have fun. Damn.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Oh my God.
good
Hogan,
point.
he didn't know Hogan made movies?
No, JoJo's getting a gimmick. And this show, JoJo is developing this gimmick. Like of a young, like high school.
He's 11. Yeah, he's 11.
Everything type of guy. Like JoJo's.
Oh my God.
I know him. I know him because he goes to school with Charlie. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! So he's never seen Hogan and Four Ninjas. Oh my god!
If this ever becomes a real gimmick, we deserve royalties.
Royalties. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So yours.
Okay, go, Brad. You're next. My bad. Yeah, because you're
All
right.
right.
This right.
I always forget what you had a point. You think I would figure this shit out? 95 episodes.
I'm just gonna go right out of the gate and
Yep.
tell you, Angel, you're wrong about what you think I'm gonna pick. I know you're wrong. So number one, Tooth Fairy with The Rock, awful. First of all, it was a movie that he made because Disney was mad at him. Like he made a contract with them. First thing didn't go so well. He's like, I really don't want to make these movies. And they were like, we got movies left. And he's like, So they were like, okay, well fine. You're the Tooth Fairy, bitch. Like honestly, like the fact that The Rock survived the Tooth Fairy has to be a testament to how big of a star The Rock is.
And y'all
Secondly,
y'all are killing my list. I hate going last.
See No Evil with Kane.
Wow.
I picked
I love that.
I picked a WWE movie, and here's why. Kane is not a scary villain. The plot line was basically prom night. The plot line was basically prom night. Honestly, a random killer killing kids at a party that they have no connection to. Basically, that's what it was. And it wasn't great, and Kane wasn't great in it. It was unnecessary. And here's why. I just want to say one thing. I know we're not supposed to do this, but I just want to say one thing why I didn't put Leprechaun Origins on this list.
That's fine. No, that's the big reason why we're doing this.
Sometimes you have a financial commitment to contracts that you made that you have to fulfill. Leprechaun was already a franchise that was in the dumpster fires when WWE made that movie. So I don't while it is one of the worst, I think that was the genuine expectance. Like no one ever expected it to be good. So if you look at the scale of bad movies, when you look at those B-rated horrors, those already bad movies, it's not that bad. So I went with See No Evil because See No Evil was rated as an actual horror movie, and it wasn't scary, it wasn't funny, and it was like a shitty copy of a copy of a copy of a remake. I picked Tana Slay because I hate Bill Goldberg. Fuck you, Bill Goldberg. Honestly, you have no place in wrestling or movies. Lastly,
accounting. He's good at that.
Yeah, math. Get out of sports or entertainment of any kind. Lastly, I picked the made-for-TV movie Thunder in Paradise with Hulk Hogan and a random guy that led to a TV show and a Universal Studios movie. Like one of those stunt shows you see it SeaWorld and shit.
Yeah.
Thunder in Paradise was ridiculous.
I forgot it was a movie. That's right. I remember the show.
It
was fun.
It was like Baywatch meets
hot garbage.
Yeah. It was so bad, so good.
It had a movie, so I put it in there.
Garbage.
It wasn't even a bad movie,
but
it was a made-for-TV movie because it wasn't good enough to hit theaters. So that's my list.
And I see comments in the thing. Some of y'all are putting wrestling movies that didn't have wrestlers in them.
Bad.
Nacho Libre doesn't qualify.
Not only that, it's also the movie had to be bad. So if a wrestler wasn't good, we didn't like Princess Bride, Andre the Giant. But it's a fantastic movie.
Fucking great movie. Yeah. All right. So my list is going to be real fast because I think y'all said them all. I had The Chaperone, so that was on there. Tooth Fairy, I had that on there. So y'all already took those two. Ready to Rumble, which I put that on there because. I mean, there's wrestlers in it. I mean, Sting is in it. DDP is in it.
Put yourself in timeout.
I love Ready to Rumble, though.
That movie was horrible.
But it's so fun. No. Oh, come on. It crossed that line. Look, it crossed that line from being bad to being iconically bad. To make it it crossed the line to make it fun. Like it's a quotable movie.
It's great, man.
Oh my god!
I get it, but it's not a good movie. I'm not saying it's a good movie.
Y'all are making me question my life choices.
No,
you gotta be on the show.
It's got a terrible score on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's so horrible.
Look, even Mel agrees with us.
But you gotta go.
But how am I gonna finish my Mount Rushmore?
Sorry. My bad.
Mel, you missed it.
No, I want to see the last one.
Thunder in Paradise was bad. But the movie, not great. I love Thunder in Paradise. I've seen every episode.
See, I remember seeing a movie one time.
Paradise. That's all you
got. Okay, Jack, come on, Josh.
Okay, he goes for singing. You're out. You put me in time. I start singing Thunder in Paradise. And all right. So yeah, Ready Rumble is on mine. It's still staying on there. He left. I put him in timeout and he left. Bring him back. Best theme. Oh, so I think Mel liked your singing too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Mel must.
I told you. It was good.
Got to put her back.
Really nice.
And then just because when I thought of thinking of my Mount Rushmore, the very beginning, I thought of multiple movies by one person. So with that being said, I'm just putting Hulk Hogan on the Mount Rushmore of worst movies, just him, because everything he makes is fucking hot garbage.
They're all bad, but it was so bad, so good.
It's like Hulk Hogan and like a name tag. It just says all.
Like, I mean, Rocky 3 is the only thing he's ever been in good. That's the only good movie he's ever been in, and he's not in it at all. Hardly, he's barely in it. Yeah, so that doesn't count. Exactly.
Good call, Josh. Good call.
But because Rocky 3, amazing. I love all the Rocky movies. I'm a big Rocky. That's one of the. Yeah, Hogan is Mount Rushmore of worst movies by wrestlers. He should have never fucking done it. I know he made millions of dollars doing it, so that's why he did it. But he was horrible in every single one of them. He's horrible in every single one of them. He has no business making movies.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'll give Hogan. That so none of them. I'm saying Hogan is not a good actor. That's what made his movies so bad, so good, because he's not a good actor whatsoever. And he somehow conned Hollywood and the American populace.
The nanny, and he even had a kissing scene. That was one of the worst kiss. It was just.
You know what? I said
garbage.
I've never watched Mr. Nanny, so that's why it wasn't on my list. But I've seen trailers, I've seen clips from it. It probably would have made my list. But I don't.
I just want to point out that Mr. Nanny also has a clear shot of animal abuse in it. As he's driving his motorcycle down the beach, you can clearly see a man throw his dog in the water. It's not actually animal abuse, but it is kind of hilarious. When you watch it and you see it, you'll never be able to unsee it.
Why there?
It's literally, he's riding his motorcycle and some guy just picked it playfully, just whoa.
And that's the only reason to watch that movie is to see that part, and that's it.
Yeah, it's great.
Any of the rest of it, it all sucks.
You can't unsee it because they're really trying to establish Hogan as this hard ass motherfucker, and when you finally realize that there's just some guy in the background.
Flying puppy, yeah.
So what should be our next Mount Rushmore? That was fun. I like that one.
We had one. So
now let's figure it out. Yeah, what are we gonna do next?
What was our first ever Mount Rushmore? We did Mount Rushmore of luchadors.
That's not the first one. We did the first one was we've done big men, we've done luchadors, we've done these movies, but there was one before that.
This is JoJo's got a great idea. Mount Rushmore pay-per-views.
Well, that's hard, dude.
Good ones. So are we talking just a certain one event or a series of them? You know what I mean? Because WrestleMania would be on it because it's had 30 something of them. You know, or is it that? Or is
I think he's talking about one.
Or one.
Yeah. I actually want to go with this one. I think it's your Mount Rushmore pay-per-views. All of us, you gotta pick 4. Don't do that. You got to pick 4 pay-per-views that mean the world to you, something that just as your wrestling fan, when you think back on your being a wrestling fan, what are clarifying though, right? So
single event, a day, one event.
You can't pick a whole series. You can't be I love Halloween Havoc. You got to pick one. You know what I mean? You got to pick a pay-per-view.
Are we unanimous?
If you had to name, if a wrestling fan came up to you and said, "I got 3 hours. Give me a pay-per-view to watch." What would be the first 4 that you would give them?
So thumbs up.
I actually like this one. I think this has a lot of potential for us to not run over each other.
Angel?
Oh, yeah. I'm good, yeah.
Let's do it.
Mel's in the comments.
Next week's list is brought to you by JoJo, and it's going to be your Mount Rushmore of pay-per-view / big monthly event shows.
Well, so does it have? Okay, so real quick though, I need to caveat that. Does it have to be a pay-per-view, or does it have to just be a special event?
I say we do big event because I know
Clash of Champions used to be on TBS.
Clash of Champions was not a pay-per-view.
Clash of Champions used to be on TBS. Yeah.
Yes, I say that big monthly feel
TNA did some free ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a Raw, not a SmackDown, not a Nitro or a Thunder or a ECW.
Can't be a weekly show. not a weekly
a
show.
monthly big deal card.
Quarterly, monthly, whatever.
Yeah, because to me, my pick like Night of Champions or like Night.
ECW December
WCW.
to December 06, baby. I'm coming
No.
with that shit. I'm coming
No,
with
you're
the fire.
No.
Man,
No, get out of here. That's one of the worst. Get out of
I'm
here.
gonna be in timeout forever after that shit. Oh my god.
Get out of here. Hey, hold on. I just want to say, how about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys? Y'all terrible. Y'all can't win shit.
Bang bang,